Classroom management. What makes a well-managed classroom? Okay, so when somebody walks into a classroom, I think most people can see if a classroom is managed well in the first minute. I don't need, and I think most people, not just me, I think most people, especially you guys, when you walk into a classroom, you can tell in 1 minute if it's a well-organized, well-managed classroom or not. Because you can see, is the class organized properly? You know, does it look messy or anything else? If it's messy, then it probably isn't managed so well. Is it orderly? Which means, are the students doing roughly the things that they should be doing in a calm manner? Are they helping each other, working with each other, okay? Doing things the correct way, okay? Next thing, are the students focused? So are the students looking at lots of different things and unable to understand what they should be doing? Or are the students on task? Are they actually doing the task together that they should be doing at the same time, or as they should be doing? Okay. And then from that, is the classroom academically productive? Which means, is the classroom learning academically? So if you don't have those first 5 things, you probably can see that there is a problem in the classroom management. Now, there might be other problems as well, but there's probably a classroom management problem. So that's important that we understand what we want. What we want is a well-organized, orderly classroom with focused students that are doing tasks and academically productive. And to do that, we must not only remove negative behaviors like shouting or throwing things or being distracted or not participating. Not only do we have to minimize or reduce those behaviors, but we have to maximize, that means do more, of the positive behaviors. Positive behaviors like responding to questions, being polite, using each other's names. Okay, we're going to talk about these things today. So there are some areas of consideration which I would like you to be thinking about when you're in your classroom, whether that's a trial, your own classroom, or you're watching a teacher. Okay, things to think about. First thing is appropriate levels of dominance. Appropriate levels of dominance. What do I mean by dominance? What do I mean by dominance? Somebody put their hand up. So I've just said, I told you I need you to tell me if you don't know words. So here's a word, dominance. What does it mean? Nope. Wow, that was so bad. Somebody left. Dominance, guys.
It's a bit lacking, so can I join again?
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, Annie.
As far as I know, so dominance means in class, you are teacher or PT, so that you should control the class, like control the student behavior and make sure that they are doing their task and don't fight each other.
Oh, you're getting into lots of things here, but you're right. Overall control. Students expect you as educators to be in control, okay? Students actually want to be told what to do in some ways, okay? They don't want to not know what they should be doing or not know who's in control, okay? So remember, you should be thinking about not trying to be king of the classroom or queen of the classroom, okay? You're not a king or a queen, but you are an educator, a teacher, and so you do get to tell people what you want, okay? Let's move on. So then we have clear expectations and consequences. So we should have clear expectations of how we expect students to behave and what they can expect to happen if they do not behave, okay? And we do that by being consistent. That means by treating the same thing the same way, whether it's one student or a different student, whichever student does it, we react in the same manner, okay? We're going to talk about that a bit. We're going to have clear learning goals. It's important that the students understand what they should be learning and why they should be learning this, okay? So at the start of the lesson, we should always make sure that we have clear learning goals, as well as the trials. But also, we have flexible learning goals. What does flexible mean, please? Tammy. Tammy was in here.
I'm here. Sorry, I had to find my window. Too many open. Flexible is being able to adapt to the different situations in class once we observe and being open to it, okay?
That's right, thank you. So it's understanding that students are different. And we can't expect them all to do exactly the same thing just because we want them to, or we tell them to. Okay, so especially in some of our classrooms, we have some students with different abilities. Some students can do more than others. So we should make sure we do not try and ask a student to do something they cannot do. And we have to realize if a student is struggling, we should reduce what we expect from them. But likewise, if a student is doing very well, we should increase what we expect from them, okay? Also, in the classroom, we should have cooperation, okay? So by cooperation, I mean working together. That's not just a teacher telling people what to do and the students doing it. It's about the teacher getting people to work together, to ask each other questions as well. And also to help each other in tasks and maybe even do tasks together. Cooperation is very important. If you just have the teacher telling people what to do, you have one mind. But if you have all the students working together, then you have 5, 6, 10 minds all working. That's good. Personal interest in students. As educators, we should be having a personal interest in our students. We should know that they have lives, they live outside of our classrooms. They do fun and things outside of our classrooms, but those things they do outside of the classroom can affect what they do in the classroom. You know, maybe they've had a bad day. Maybe they didn't sleep because their sister was up all night crying or something like this. So make sure we take a personal interest in our students and understand we are individuals. Next, equitable. Equitable means equal and positive behavior. So treating students equally. That means asking all students about the same number of questions. You don't want to just ask the questions to the student who puts their hand up. You want to ask all students equally. You want to make sure that if any student is doing something right, they get to know that they are doing something right, okay? We emphasize and tell others about their positive behaviors, okay? And finally, in a classroom, we may get what we can call high needs students. Students who are not mentally at the same level or same place as other students. Now that might be because they are younger. It might be because they have a learning difficulty. We should be aware of that early on and make people know if you have any problems with that. Okay, let's move on. Here's some things we can do then, okay? Sort of key principles. First principles, be positive. Be positive in the classroom. It is very difficult to learn in a negative environment, in a negative feeling classroom. Okay, so I will do the first thing last. So next, we're going to look at welcoming students. So welcome students to the classroom. When students come into the classroom, please say hello to them, okay? Do not just let them walk in, put their bags down and not have any response. They should feel a positive thing of, hey, how are you? You look great. I like your t-shirt. Nice shoes. That kind of stuff when they come in, okay? And use their names, okay? People like to hear their names, so use their names. Encourage students to work with each other, okay? So that means a lot of times the teachers can ask questions because they want to ask the question. But actually, if you write the questions on the whiteboard, then a student can ask another student that question. That means you are creating friendships, you are creating relationships. So think about doing that in the classroom. Use positive communication techniques. So that means open questions. Okay, so open questions could be something like, what do you think about that? Do you find that interesting? Okay, or what more can you tell me about that? Think of ways that we can ask questions that get students involved. There is no point asking a student a question we do not think they can answer. So we ask lots of open questions. And when they're doing a project, be enthusiastic. That means be really interested in what they're doing. Whoa, that's super cool. I didn't know you could do it like that. Wow, you picked that up really quickly. Oh, that's an interesting design. I haven't seen that before. You are the first person to do that today. Okay? Things like that. And that goes to specific compliments. That means don't say good job. Okay? That means don't say well done all the time. Okay? You can say that, but try and say something like, oh, that was finished very quickly, or that's a very interesting answer. You developed that really well. You have some nice colors there. You have some good detail there, okay?